hello. How are you? How are you? I haven't seen you, have I? I haven't been around. I'm trying to think. Well, I didn't see you yesterday because I was out on the road, and I didn't see you on Monday because I wasn't feeling very well. I'm still feeling a bit funny, but it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. But anyway, welcome to Wednesday. Good News Wednesday. Why is it Good News Wednesday, Rokk? Well, because Wednesday is traditionally that kind of the day of the week. We call it hump day. It's like, oh, God, we're only halfway through the week. So we're going to bring good news. We're only bringing cheer and happiness. And you know, general bon vivant. I think that's the phrase. Thought you weren't streaming, Rokk Show. Did I say I wasn't? I don't remember saying that I wasn't. No, I am. Here I am, you see. Good to see you, Crystal. And congratulations to Crystal, by the way. She's exceeded 100 subscribers this very day. In fact, in her stream this afternoon, which I was partaking in the chat. So a big woo! Well done. Well done to you, Crystal, bless her. And all who sail in her. That's what I say. You're more than welcome. It's great. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, seeing your confidence growing and the friends that you're making and the relationships that are blossoming. I think it's absolutely lovely. And long may it continue in the spirit of Happy Wednesday. Great things are going on for this. How it works, isn't it? You see? I always think if you are positive, or as positive as you can possibly be, not always easy to be completely positive. You know, we've all got stuff that gets us down, haven't we? But if you try and stay positive, have a little bit of belief in yourself and whichever God or gods you believe in, and friends as well. Call on friends. That's the key thing. Look at that, a little bit of love is a fantastic thing. And a new computer coming as well. Wow, that's awesome. Al, how are you, my good friend? What was the song you popped up on Twitter earlier? What was it called again? It was a well-known one with a bit of Zelda going on. Very good. Happy hump day to you too, my friend. Oh, hang on, guys. It's very remiss of me. But you should be able to do ! Win. And I forgot to set it going. 1 second, don't worry, it's coming. It's all coming. All good things come to those that wait. You know that. Cloudbot, there it is. And giveaways. Perfect. Let me just clear the last lot. So we need to cancel. Boop, there it goes. It'll say cancelling somewhere around here. There we go. And we will start again. So let me change the time from now. Let's make it that instead. And make sure the rest of it's... Yep, that's all good. Okay. Let me start it. There we go. Bit of news on the old game front. I'm thinking next month, July... Just want to make sure that's working. Yep, that looks good. I'm thinking next month. So at the moment, you don't have to be a member, which is fine. And obviously, if you are a member, you get extra tickets, extra entries. William, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, buddy. Great show last night, by the way. Thank you, guys. It was absolutely awesome. But I'm thinking from July, I might make the giveaway as a test in July for members only. So what I mean by that is that my big giveaway game, not the daily ones, we'll carry on doing those for everybody as we've been doing the daily ones, but I'm thinking about the big game giveaway. So this month it was Diablo 4 and it will be Final Fantasy 16, right? Next month, whatever game it will be, I'm thinking making it members only and not to the general public, because I'm keen to take the emphasis off. So the previous ones were kind of done to build the subscriber base. I came under a huge amount of fire for that, Not that it was anybody's business, but there you go. People are funny folk, aren't they? And there's a lot of jealousy or envy, I should say. And people don't like to see success unless it involves them. So I'm thinking, you know, you guys, my members, you're the ones that have put your money where your heart is, right? So why shouldn't I make it for members only? So I'm going to trial it in July. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, it'd be lovely to encourage more people to subscribe as members, to join as members. So I'm just interested to see, as an experiment, if that works, how that goes down. So watch this space as I cook it a bit more. Yeah, a little bit more heat in the oven for a bit of consideration. But it would mean that instead of the 1,500 or 150 or 500 or whatever entries we typically get for the big games, it's only going to be a member that wins, which means the odds are considerably better to win a cracker of a game, a corker of a game. So there you go. That's my little thinking on that one. It's a bit of good news, isn't it? We have Crystal, we have Al, and we have the young Mr. Reaver the Beaver, Ryan, who have popped their tickets into today's draw. So you can join them, ! Win, get it on the old chit chat. Subscribers only. But you've only got to subscribe, and then you can, I think there's a 10-minute wait after you subscribe, and then you can enter ! Win. So go ahead and do it, and then you can do it, and it's all pucker and fluffy. And then what I might do is put some bigger, like newer games in the wheel. You know, like we've got Horizon Zero Dawn Ultimate Edition, right? Which nobody has won. Do you remember the other day I like decimalized it? I put them up to like 10 to try and get rid of it. And I might do that. So I may pop in some big old bangers, not brand new ones, but fairly recent games that have a lot of, gravitas. And I'll try and make sure as well that they're playable on GeForce Now at least, so that there's a little cloud connection. So watch out for that. So that will be open every day for members and subscribers, but the big game will be for members only. What do you guys think to that? Now, obviously, a lot of you are members, so I'm hoping you think that's an awesome idea. And to be fair, I mean, when you think about the odds of winning something like Diablo 4 for less than a cup of coffee a month, I think that's pretty good, don't you? Wow, how hot is it today, Rock? I know. Well, I tell you, it was steaming yesterday. So yesterday, I took my mummy and my daddy on a road trip. Now, my dad's 80 this year, bless him. They don't get out very often. And they'd never seen my daughters where they live at their universities. So I had to go and fetch my youngest to bring her home for the summer. So I invited them for a little road trip. And yes, I have a fan on. You may be able to hear it. Hang on, I'll let you hear it. There you go. That wasn't me blowing. So I thought I'd take them on a lovely road trip to go and see my girls and where they live and stuff. We had such a nice day. We had a real laugh, and it was just nice. And they loved it. They really did. So that was really sweet. It was a long drive. I think that I did all the driving, and for the whole day it was a thick end of 8 hours driving, but it was worth it. They loved it. Members only boosts the chance for us lovely lot. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Beaver. Beaver, he's added Beaver to the front of it now. We always knew it was you cheeky minx. But yes, no, absolutely. That's right, Phoenix. So you guys all get, and obviously I'll work it the same way. So you'll have a ticket and 2 tickets and 3 tickets, 4, 5, 6 tickets, depending on how big I'm not a member, but I think you should limit the big game to members. It may increase your membership. Thank you, Naki Nu. I think that's I think that's a good idea, but I'll also I'm not going to leave everyone else out. So I'll double the emphasis of the quality of games on the daily giveaways, and then we'll have one big old, and I'll promote it everywhere. Big giveaway for members. Now YouTube don't like it, but what they don't like, they don't particularly care what I do, quite honestly. But what they don't like is me selling memberships on the basis of potentially winning a game. So they don't mind me doing it, but they don't like me promoting it in the members perks. So when you sign up, it says you get this, 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 and this. I've tried this in the past. I've put into the perks entry into all the giveaways, and they refused it. They don't like that. So I'm not going to be able to say it anywhere other than on here and in my soch. But we'll all know what it is. Like you say, YouTube membership is just the price of a coffee. Yeah, and ultimately it's where I get the money to do that stuff. So I feel it's only fair. And, we had a great run. We've got nearly 6,000 subscribers from doing the giveaways over the last 6, 7 months, 8 months. And to be honest, I'm kind of happy to stop. I don't need to propel it much further than that. I think that's a pretty exciting subscriber base. Now I want to just focus on members and the best benefits for my members. I want people to say, you really want to be a member of Team Rokk. Rokk gives away the amazing prizes. I'd love to do something later in the year, possibly, whereby, because at the moment I've kind of been doing 2 games a month. So I'm thinking if I scaled it down to one real banger day and date release game, maybe on any platform. So choose one where it's got multiple platform releases, and then you guys can choose which one. But the other big game that I would normally give away, bank that money and instead put it to something like a ROG Ally, or a Steam Deck or something that's like a big prize towards the end of the year, like a real big drive. And that's how we kicked off the whole subscriber thing last year, with the Logitech G and the laptop and what have you. And that was massive, hugely successful. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking that at the moment. We'll see. We'll give it a little go in July. Hey, Dorrigan, how are you, dude? How was Corfu? I already know the answer to this because we spoke in our lovely friend Ray's show earlier, or yesterday for Ray. And Dorrigan, I was right, wasn't I? It is an incredibly chilled place. I don't think I've ever been to a more chilled place. No, people just don't care. You just get on with life. It's lovely. Loved it. I'd definitely go back. Definitely. I can't remember exactly where we were. I think we were not quite north. We were maybe 2/3 of the way up and on the west coast, I think. But it was gorgeous. You could see Turkey, I think. Am I right in saying that? Or Greece, one of the two. But yeah, beautiful, relaxing, perfect. Oh, I'm so glad, mate. We all need it, don't we? On that note, having just returned from America, not that long ago, I'm actually away again next week. Ryan Beaver subscribed. Wow. How many of these counts have you got, brother? Wowza. It's brilliant, isn't it? Yes, so the reason being it's my daughter's birthday next week and she wants to go down to Cornwall for a few days. So we're going to head down on Friday evening, which means I might not... Oh, yes, and Ray's going to Hawaii. We'll cover that in a second, my friend. Exciting, that is. I may not be able to do a Friday show. It's been a really awkward, funny old week this week for getting content out. So next week it's going to be a bit like America, but with the added advantage of I know I've got decent Wi-Fi, so I will still try and get my shows in, but they might be a little different because I won't be able to use OBS. I just don't have the processing power on my laptop, but probably use one of my other little tools. We'll still try and get some stuff on, and we'll still have rock players and everything else. So, having said that, I think I've got to get this right. I think yesterday, I think Bjorn flew out to Mallorca yesterday. So he's actually away for Rock Players tomorrow, but I'm 90% certain either Ninja or Martinez will be hosting it. I'm not sure who it's going to be yet, but it'll be fine. We'll get there. Miss Phoenix had a lovely week in Cornwall a few months ago. It's lovely, isn't it? Which part of Cornwall did you go to, Sam? I'm very lucky because we have a relative that has a place just up the top, the posh end of Newquay, which is gorgeous. He said last week it was Ninja. Thank you, Phoenix. So he's got a week that no one's renting it, so we're gonna take advantage of that. But yeah, I do like Cornwall. It's got a very a little affectionate little soft spot for Cornwall. The lizard in Cornwall's lovely, isn't it? The Lizard Peninsula. He's not referring to a little green gecko. He's referring to a peninsula, a little jutty piece of Cornwall that is gorgeous. Cornwall's just lovely. We did a bit of a road trip, mainly around the Lizard. So yeah, the thing about Cornwall is that it's kind of unique in Britain. It's very unspoiled and quite rugged, and you can really, wherever you go, it's like the Corfu version in Britain. Really, it's pretty chilled. Best cream tea in the southernmost cafe, the Poplar it's called. So yeah, you can go all the way down to Land's End, which is a bit of a touristy trap these days. It's the southernmost point, a bit like in Key West in Miami. They kind of have the southernmost point and get your photo taken and stuff. But there's lots of lovely parts. But equally, if you go from where I live, if you go east into Dorset and then ultimately into Hampshire, that's also gorgeous. I mean, I am very, very lucky. If you go north, we go into Somerset and then up to Bristol. And then if you go 3 hours in that direction, you get to London. So it's a lovely part of the world to live here, quite honestly, because you've got some gorgeous places. Having said that, pretty much you can parachute anywhere into Britain and find the most beautiful places. It really is, as much as it has issues, and you know, we will fix them. It will take time, but we will get there. Despite that, it's actually a fairly beautiful country and definitely worth. I always say this: if you're coming to the country, don't just stop at London. Don't hire a car, which is quite difficult if you're American, guys. Actually, it's quite difficult for most people because as you know, we drive on the opposite side to the rest of the world, all bar a couple of other countries like Japan and Australia and New Zealand. But if you're okay with that, and I've got to tell you, if you've never done it, it's pretty tricky. For us, we're used to going abroad and driving on the other side to Britain, so we don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. I'll go anywhere in the world and drive. But a lot of American people really struggle, and not just Americans, in fairness, most of the world, because you're on the other. Everything's reversed. The way you go round a roundabout, who you give into at a junction, the side of the road you go. If it's at more than one lane, it's the opposite lane to the one you're used to is the slow lane versus all that stuff. It's fun though. Do you guys have Uber? We do, Rosie. Obi. We do, my friend. We do have Uber. We have Uber. Not all. I don't think everywhere in the country, but I think it's pretty much everywhere now has Uber, as well as normal cabs. It's interesting in London. Rosie, in London it's slightly different because there was this kind of whole contest. They have this thing in London called the black cab. You know, if you go to New York, there's yellow cabs everywhere. Well, London, they have these London taxis that are called black cabs, and these guys make an absolute fortune. And they do a thing. I don't know how much these days it happens with the advent of sat nav, but back before sat navs, these guys had to do a thing called the knowledge. They literally spent a long time, couple of years, going around London on a moped or a bike and memorizing the maps. So if you got into a black cab and said, take me to Piccadilly or whatever, they knew exactly where it was and how to get there. And all of it was memorized because there were no sat navs, and they didn't have time to rifle through an old map or something. So they were highly skilled, in fairness, and actually a lot of them were very, very intelligent guys as well. I remember a black cab driver won Mastermind one year, which is a kind of a very quintessentially English show, which tests you on some general knowledge, but mainly on a kind of chosen subject. But since the advent of sat-navs, I don't know how important the knowledge is anymore. I don't know if you have to do it, because you wouldn't get a black cab license until you had done the knowledge and been tested, and then you were fine. But these guys cleared masses of money. Masses. Of course, Uber came along, and anybody could, hi, I'd like to be an Uber driver. Yeah, name, yeah, you go. You're on, go. Get on the app. That's it, you're in. So there was a massive ruckus. They hated the fact that they had the whole kind of knowledge thing down, and there was this, process of learning London maps and roads and stuff, and then anybody could do it. So for the longest time, there was sort of legalities and all sorts of lawsuits and things. In the end, I think it ended up that, it was a constant battle. I think Uber's allowed, but there are restrictions. In London, this is. Everywhere else, it's fair game. So yeah, we have Uber. We have pretty much everything. I think you'd find, Obi, that most things that you're familiar with in the States, you'd find here, especially in the larger urban areas. Crystal's living the dream. That's what we love, isn't it? That's what we all want. I tell you, there is nothing more intoxicating than being drunk on life. Am I not right? Crystal, am I not right? Isn't that the most... If you're going to be addicted to anything, let it be life. Let it be love. Let it be the pursuit of happiness. That's what we want to be drunk on, isn't it? I think it's a shame if people feel so much is missing in their life that they have to turn to substitutes like alcohol and drugs, general addictions to prop it up. But we live in difficult times, there's no question of that. We are still suffering and struggling after 15, 16 years from the 2008 banking disaster that was self-inflicted by the financial institutions, and we paid for it. We bailed them out. Not one single banker went to prison, and they orchestrated, instigated, and pretty much did some fairly nefarious things. Not one of them paid for it, but we have. Oh boy, have we. We had the initial global recession in 2008, 2009, 2010, and it has never really gone away. And it's what's led to the rise of the far right across the world and the situation that we're in today. So thank you, bankers. But it's Good News Wednesday. The good news is that we're going to get there, guys. And the more you can take from the simple things, pleasure of the simple things in life, the better you will be. You don't need the latest gadget or the flashiest car or that extra bedroom, or the most expensive trainers or pumps or whatever you call them, whatever your kids call them these days. You don't need any of that stuff to make you happy. You really don't. None of it excites me. Do you know what? Here you go. See this very nice, very flash and dashing shirt that I'm wearing, right? True story. Sneakers, thank you, Neil. True story. So I had my Generation X t-shirt, which I'm very proud of because I designed the logo and Clive got them printed, and I love that shirt. But it's quite a thick material, and it was so hot. So anyway, I went upstairs to find an alternative attire, and I was rifling through my suits. Well, I haven't worn a suit for a long time, but, I used to, back when businesses used to wear suits. And I was just rifling through, and this was tucked away. It was stuffed at the back of the cabinet, or the cupboard, or the wardrobe, or whatever they're called. It was just like, and all I saw was a little bit of this kind of material, and I thought, what's this? I pulled it out, and I thought, flippin' heck, it's a lovely shirt. I don't know why I'd stuffed it away, but I was well happy. That's what I'm like. I don't need to go and buy. I just look for old shirts that I've just discarded. Probably didn't fit me at some point, and I shoved it down the back of behind my suits, which I never wear anymore. I was so happy. I came downstairs. I said, "Look at this," to Mrs. Rokk. She said, "Where'd you get that from?" I found it in my wardrobe. Happy days. Neil was admiring it. Neil, I don't know, mate, I don't know how long it's been up there. I don't know how old it is or where I bought it from. I can assure you it would have been cheap. I don't buy my favourite clothes, like my favourite coat that I wear, jumpers, even a pair of jeans that I've got, right? My favourite clothes were cast-offs from my brother, who's a year younger than me. And he comes around occasionally and he says, "Do you want this?" "Oh, I'll have that." That's me. You do not need to invest in expensive stuff to be happy. You really don't. Friends and, sunshine, when the sun's shining, doesn't it make you feel so much happier? Hey, Liam, how are you? Hi, all in Rock. Good to see you, my friend. Great to see you. Thank you for popping in. And great to see all of you as well. So many of you. Privatise the gains and socialise the losses. Oh, I like that. Very good. Very good. How are you, William? Happened here. Yeah, no, it happened. It started in the States and then it went boom everywhere. Always bail out the rich. Yep. Well, indeed. And we could, it's a happy Wednesday, so we're not going to go down that road. But I do agree with you, my friend. I absolutely agree. So, and Rouster says, I'm happy with just a few little things. And Diablo 4. Of course, Mr. Rouster was praised by Ray yesterday on Rock Show. What a fantastic choice. Ray is brilliant. He chooses the best people. He really does. And it's true, because Adam may not be a massive content creator, but he really, really goes out of his way to support all of us. And we all see it. I think it was either Ray or William said it yesterday. We see you. We see you guys out there turning up in all of our shows. Hey, Phipps, how are you, my friend? Guten Abend, mein Freund. We see you guys, and it really warms our heart, because for us it's like, you lovely, yay, Phipps has been with us for 6 months. Woohoo! Thank you, dude. Because it's like seeing old friends when we see you. I mean, it's lovely to see new people that we've not seen before, and that's exciting, because you're getting to meet new people and find out where they're from and what interests they have, what games they're playing and stuff. But Nerds World, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in, brother. Always awesome. But, to see Nerds World coming in and Neil and Al and stuff every day, and all of you, I didn't want to just pick on one or two, but all of you, it's brilliant for us, because otherwise, what are we doing for? And most of us, and I know this for an absolute fact, I know it's true with Ray, I know it's true with William, for most of us, just seeing you guys every day, that's reward enough for what we do. You know what I mean? It's lovely, isn't it? It's lovely. Thank you so much, guys. Bless you. Right, shall we get over and have a look? Do you know, on a Wednesday, as you guys know, we have a little look at this little website that I found, which only does good news. And it's a news website that only covers good news, which I loved. Before we do that, let me just remind you that the raffle, the giveaway is on. You have just under 9 minutes left, or just over 9 minutes, I should say. Only 12 of you have entered, so come on, get in there. It's !win, or !win. to get in and win a chance and have a chance at winning a Steam code for a PC game and potentially Horizon Zero Dawn Ultimate Edition for PC. We have Crystal, Al, Ryan. I did you not? Who else have we got? Ryan, Al Davis, twice, Ray, Adam Rouster, Doragon, and Dr. Funtime. So there's plenty of space in there around and about Ryan's entries. That's so funny. What is he like? Let us get on down to good old Simple Larry. Yay, here we are. Now look, I know you're looking at this. Oh God, a new Rouster one. I know you're looking at this guy and thinking, what the heck have you got there, Rokk? But he's not. He is not supping from an iced tea, or indeed smoking or inhaling something he shouldn't. No. What this chap is doing is he's blowing down a tiny bone flute. It is. Look. Apparently these are 12,000 years old, and they reckon they made these little tiny bone flutes to call birds. I'm guessing to, whack them on the head with a stick and have them, like old school Colonel Sanders. It's like a prehistoric Colonel Sanders. And in fact, if you look at this fella, he has the whole Colonel Sanders beard going on, pre-white, which it would have been all those years ago, you see. So we're looking here at a prehistoric Colonel Sanders, and he's going... Oh, I'll give you my bird impression. Hang on, you'll like this. Just pucker up my lips. See if you can pick this up, ready? That's not bad, is it? Now, let me tell you, when I do that in an echoey room, people are looking around like this. Wow, how did that bird get in? But it was Colonel Sanders and his bird whistle. Yeah, I wouldn't have needed a little bone. I could have done it myself, you see. I hope you like that. Yeah, I'm very proud of my bird whistle. It confuses the heck out of birds. Honestly, I'm out in the garden and they're doing a proper full-on, orchestra, a beautiful orchestra of bird song, and I'm there going, budgerigars, they're like, what? Parrots like, what? I love it. It's all good. Anyway, they reckon that they were using these little tiny bones to call birds. And I'm guessing, whack them over the head and, breadcrumbs and secret sauces and all that stuff. They'd be eating all of that, you see. The precise motive of the mimicry is unknown. Well, I'm sure they weren't doing it to catch a bird for the sheer fun of it. I mean, we're talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, ladies and gentlemen, which basically is that if you're blowing a bone whistle, it's probably for survival. Although the prehistoric site of Yin Malha in northern Israel has been thoroughly examined since 1955, it still holds some surprises, say scientists who found this collection of 7 instruments. So it's not an accident. They've clearly got proper little drilled holes. It's not, it's not where their veins came out, because that exists in bones, arteries and things that go into the bone through a hole. Now, you can see he's got a proper little kind of musical thing going on there. I'd love to hear what it sounds like, though. I don't think there's No, it's a shame, isn't it? I have to look on YouTube and see if this old the young Colonel Sanders here, has actually played it. It'd be like when the captain's on the ship on Star Trek. The Natufians, the Near Eastern civilization that occupied a village on the site between 13,000 and 9,700 BCE, are thought to have used them for hunting. Well, that's fairly obvious, isn't it? Music, or to communicate with the birds themselves. I mean, I wouldn't have thought they would whip out the tiniest flute in the world to have a band thing going on, Hey, Grandpa, play some music, okay? It's not going to happen, is it? He would have had a big leg of a cow or something. Wait, what? Someone hurt? What? Someone put Hey Rock under my name, and that wasn't even me. Ah, Reva, it's always you, my friend. There's always you going on somewhere. It wasn't even me. Oh, he's such a prankster. Neil, I had a happy experience today. Oh, good. Took a friend's black lab pointer. Oh, that's a gorgeous mix. For a walk at lunchtime. She was happy to see me, and I really enjoyed hanging out with her. Oh, Reva's serious on Kick. Well, you know what? I don't think exclamation mark wins on Kick, by the way. Rouster, you can try it, but I'm fairly certain it doesn't. Let me just have a little look. Yeah, I'm only seeing YouTube. You can definitely do it on Twitch, although I'm not streaming to Twitch. As far as I know, I think. Oh, no, you can't. I've got to... I can make it happen, but I'm not making it happen now, because we've only got 3 minutes left. But Kick don't work, I'm afraid. But no, I agree. I love it. And that's something I'd like to do, actually, Neil. I'd like to borrow someone's dog and take them out for a run or a walk or something. Particularly lab pointer. What a gorgeous breed. What beautiful mix. That sounds more like the intro music to Doctor Who. I can do that one. Ready? That wasn't bad, was it? That wasn't bad. Come on. I used to do that one as my UFO landing. Because it's humming and whistling at the same time. You try it. That's not as easy as it sounds. Oh, what a man of talents. You could babysit my two. I'd love to. Oh, you got gorgeous dogs. Are they both male, Sam, or are they a mix of both, or are they girlies? I don't like to use the term anymore. You know, the technical term for a lady dog has kind of become a derogatory term now, isn't it? You know what I mean? Reva was impressed. He's good at it. Oh dear, I tell you the things I could do. The things I could do for you guys if you wanted me to. Anyway, that is the story of the tiny bone. Smaller bones would have been deliberately selected in order to obtain the high-pitched sound needed. But the thing is, though, if you've got a little tiny flute and you're like, the bird's not going to hear that, is it? You want something with a bit of clout, don't you? Hey? Oh no, the previous message from the last stream. Yeah, probably. Yeah, no. In Kick, you see. Yeah, Ryan, in Kick, it keeps the chat. It's like a perennial chat list. So in YouTube, it's brand new per stream, and then it starts a new one. Whereas in Kick, and I think Twitch as well, actually, it's there forever. So you can go back over and yeah, sometimes you're like, what? But yeah, that's what you saw there, my friend. It was you. Got you all confused. So here we go. We'll have a quick rattle through these. Just to let you know, guys, if you were thinking of getting into the draw, you have 30 seconds to enter !win. Yes, so here we go. Mumbai, which is in India, of course, if you didn't know, have a museum on wheels that travels to rural villages. What a lovely idea. So, of course, some very impoverished parts of India, and it's a vast country, India. I mean, vast. And many villages that we call them third world. I don't think that's an appropriate phrase these days. Oh, look at this. Neil went to a dog show the weekend. The judge kept repeating the title of the most beautiful female dog category. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we know that's the technical term, but youngsters only know it to have one meaning, right? So I kind of feel like it's a bit like when before the 1960s, I think, I stand to be corrected on this. Before the 1960s, the term gay meant to be happy, just joyful, jolly, feeling gay. And it was also a popular girl's name. From the 1960s, it became, synonymous with people who were gay. Right? That's what we all know. So now nobody says I'm feeling gay, and it's just a process of the evolution of the English language, which happens daily. I mean, if I was 14-year-old Rokk would not be going that sick unless I was pointing to a pile of something horrible on the floor, right? Or how I was feeling. And now, of course, it has a whole other connotation. Bangers. I never knew that's the name for a fringe. What's wrong with fringe? So, you know what I'm saying? There's all this stuff that changes all the time. And the dog one, though, I don't like to use it because I know that it has a more of a connotation. And how are you, dude? Good to see you, my friend. How are you? How's the shoulder coming along? I see you got I think I saw you had your bandage off, and it's looking good. There's a nice joke in Yes, Prime Minister about the B word too, when the French president is visiting. Oh, really? I don't know about that one. I don't know that we want to share it, Neil. But yes, the whole Yes Minister, Yes Prime Minister was superb, wasn't it? And so accurate to where we are today. Anyway, over there in Mumbai, since 2015, they've had a mobile museum that they take it around rural parts. Look at this. It's got what looks to me like a T-Rex skull. Do you know the problem with skulls and showing dinosaurs? I always think this. The problem with showing any skulls or any skeletons, whether it's a dinosaur or a turtle or a human, is we don't ever see those things in the wild, do we? Because they're hidden by muscle and skin. So I always think they're really we can't relate to them when we see them. So I much prefer, like they've got down the bottom there, I much prefer a model of how it looked than a skeleton. You know, when you go into a museum, there's a beautiful one in London called the Natural History Museum, and it's kind of dedicated to Charles Darwin because it's from that era, Victorian times. It's a huge, gorgeous place. You've got to go. If you go to Britain, you've got to go to the Natural History Museum. It's gorgeous. But you walk into the central atrium and it's just full of bones. You know, and I know they're impressive, and you look at it and go, wow, look at the size of the T-Rex and the, you know, mastodon and what have you. But for me, I can't relate to it. It's a bunch of bones. I want to see the thing looking like it did, you know, with its like flesh and its eyes and all that stuff. That's what I love. I mean, you go and see bones in a museum. I mean, if you're a scientist, you go, oh, look at it, it's amazing. It's got its humerus and its ankle bone. And, But for us mere mortals, it's like, well, I don't know what it was. What does it look like? It wouldn't have been a bony thing. And the other thing, while we're on the subject of dinosaurs, and by the way, you're too late, the raffle's finished. On the subject of dinosaurs, as you know, birds are direct descendants to dinosaurs. I mean, you may not know, but they were. And I was thinking to myself, if you watch a bird and you think, well, that's a descendant, that's like a descendant of a dinosaur. Did dinosaurs kind of walk around like this? Like a pigeon and a chicken. I wonder if they did. And you know, whether they sort of went around whistling at each other as well. Rather than, we think of a T-Rex, roar, what if he just whistled like a bird? What if the world of dinosaurs was just a whistling place, like birdies? You know what I mean? I don't know. They don't know. We don't know. We've never been there. There is a film that Ant put me onto, actually, Young Cowboy. He's a mega film buff. Goes all the time to the cinema. And he put me on to, is it 65 or 64? And I've been waiting to watch it. It hasn't yet come through to the streaming services. And the last time I looked, it was still too expensive to rent because there was no way I was going to be paying 15 quid to watch it. When it gets down to a few pounds, I will, though. For sure. What anniversary is this, King of Entertainment? 65, thank you, my friend. And put me onto that one, and he was good. He was right to do that because it's right up my street. I love those kind of, what would it be like if you went back in time? The only problem is we know the mix of the air mix hydrogen, oxygen, was not breathable by us at that point. So when you see, somebody goes back in time and they're like, take your helmet off, it's all right, they wouldn't have been able to breathe. The mix was different. And I can't remember if it was thicker, thinner, more hydrogen, less oxygen. I can't remember, but I do remember reading somewhere that it would not have been breathable by us. Interesting. But anyway, happy anniversary, Anne. Whatever it's for, I need to go back up and find out what you're celebrating it. Let me have a look here. Cowboy King in the house. Happy anniversary. Here we go. It's going good. Just physical therapy. Oh, thank you, my friend. I missed that message. Just physical therapy it's horrible, isn't it? I'm trying to find the words. I love it, but I hate it. But today's my eighth year wedding anniversary. Woohoo! Well done, my friend. That's a whole octaversary. That's brilliant. Oh, nice. You're doing anything? I know you. Of course you're doing something nice. You celebrate anything at the drop of a hat, don't you? And so you should as well. She's a lovely lady. And I'm sure you are going to do something really nice as well. Bless you, my friend. My anniversary, let me think. It's August, because I don't know why I did this, by the way. I don't know why we agreed to do this. But my wife's birthday and our wedding anniversary are like within a couple of days, and I always get them confused. I don't know why we did it. Why didn't we get married a month later or before? I don't know. Spiderversary. Yeah, it's true. Little octo legs. There was another story. Oh no. Let me see. I'm sure. Here we go. We don't need to go all the way back there. This was quite good, but we won't look at this one. 4 Colombian children. Look at this. Found alive in a jungle 5 weeks after a plane crash. 5 weeks. Children. 4 children on their own in a jungle for 5 weeks, and they survived. Wow, that's a film in the making, isn't it? That's got to be a story and a half. Imagine that. And then finally, I did notice this one. It says, this 23-year-old founder is 3D printing schools in Madagascar, aiming to be a stepping stone for the community. Initially, I thought, wow. But then when I read it, it says it takes $40,000 and 18 hours to build a hut. Now, no disrespect to her amazing idea of, 3D printing the stuff. Surely they're in the middle of a not very wealthy country. Surely they could find local labour to put a thing that big together from local trees and materials for a hell of a lot less than $40,000. I could build one of them for 10. Come on. I was thinking, where's the benefit here? GNN previously reported, I think the Good News Network is the name of this website, previously reported on Maggie Grout, I like her tile paste, idea in 2021 during the pandemic. It was then that she and San Francisco, big up to the San Frans, where Ray is, and a San Francisco architect came up with the idea of making them honeycomb shaped so that additional modules could be added. I love it, don't get me wrong, but I can't believe that you couldn't make something like that for a hell of a lot less with just local labour and materials. Plus, you could use it to train new skills to local people so they could become tradespeople. Plus, the money goes back into the local community because that's got the $40,000 had to come from somewhere, and I'm sure the locals didn't pay for it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a thing. It's just a thing that I'm saying. That's all. That's how I think. Good news for the 3D printing ink companies. Yeah, right. Initially I thought she was going to say, and we were able to do it for, $5,000 or whatever. When I saw 40,000, I thought, seriously? Come on. It does seem a lot. It's a lot faster, 18 days, but even then, we used to have a show in the UK called Challenge Annika, Adam. And it was a lady, very lovely lady called Annika Rice. And they basically got challenged to do something like build a new wing of a school, or a community building, or convert something, or do something in like 48 hours. Right, they got next to no time to do it, and it was brilliant to watch. She would get on to local suppliers, local business people, she'd get the local scouts group in, the local church, whatever, and she'd get all these people together, and they would do the most amazing things in no time at all. So it can be done. It can be done. 18 hours, yeah, okay, fair point, but who cares? Who cares if it's 18 hours or 18 weeks? They've got nothing already, and they're getting something. I don't think they care whether it took 18 hours. You know, hey guys, we've got some money, and we've got some materials that have been donated by, you know, Builder Co. Limited, and we're going to teach local guys how to make a hut, and we'll put some chairs and stuff in, and you can come and learn stuff, and we'll, you know, whatever. I'm not sure what they do after they build the thing, but anyway, I mean, best of luck. I think it's a lovely concept, and I'm sure in that 40k there's very little profit. I'm sure I mean, I can imagine, I don't know what kind of, I mean, for a start, the top part is clearly wood, and even that green is just wood that's painted. So that part has to be wood, and probably quite expensive. And then you can see, let me zoom in a bit, you can see it's better. I can't, can I? No, it won't let me. Okay. That grey thing is the 3D printed side. So I don't know what, I mean, it's not going to be this kind of 3D printer that you and I know. It's going to be, you know, a huge thing using grey. I'm sure that's the colour that comes out. It's interesting, though. Grant brought her 3D printers over in a single shipping container, has now printed a school in the town of Fianarantsoa, a city in south-central Madagascar. Of course, Madagascar is that vast island off the east coast of Africa. From that first project, I really learned how to streamline the logistics. I mean, I really hope it takes off, and I really hope oh look, we've got a little video here. And I really hope she manages to get it done. Here you go. Right, oh wow, look at this. So it literally prints it in situ. That's why it only takes 18 hours. You know what? That reminds me of Death Stranding. Anybody that's played that, where it's colour concrete, says Dorrigan. I think you're right, my friend. I think that's what that was. I think it's just 3D printing concrete, isn't it? I think you're absolutely right. Interesting. So they can print a whole... Now I know... Oh, let me get this right. Edison. I'd like to say the inventor of the light bulb, but I do believe he spent most of his time stealing people's patents. But he did invent... he invented one large concrete building made from a single mould back in 1930 something, I think, in America. So if you go to Gary, Indiana, you can actually see some examples of this that haven't been pulled down. So literally, there's this huge mould, which, you know, bits of wood and stuff, it probably took 3 or 4 days to construct, and then they just poured the concrete in, and when the whole thing when all the wood's taken away, you have a concrete house which you can paint, and the whole thing is one solid construction. Never really took off, but I think it's quite a clever idea. He patented it. Mr. Edison, Thomas Edison. There you go, gents and gentesses. A mine and a mind of useless information. Right, let me grab this list. 17 people with tickets, of which half of them are Reaver and half of them are Rouster. And why not? One day I just imagine you guys turning up with, you've spent a whole day creating Gmail accounts and then setting up YouTube accounts. It's just like 400 accounts. I just know it's going to happen. Okay, let me add the entrance. Yeah, I found a way to include them, although only in OBS, sadly. So I can't include them in Rock Players and Rock Show and my Next Gen, which is a bit of a shame because I know that Martinez, who is massively into Kick, would love to be able to include chat from Kick, but it's my own special patented way, and I can only do it on OBS. All right, I'm adding the names in to our wheel. Oops, I accidentally kicked it off, so let it finish and then I'll bring it back. I'm not that dedicated. Fair enough, my friend, fair enough. Do you know what, Adam? I hadn't seen one of those before, the 3D concrete printers. I do love the idea. I mean, I don't know. I suppose if you were hiring them, you'd have to put them into situ. They're only going to squirt so much concrete out, aren't they? And I'm guessing it has to be a more of a fluid mix than your standard concrete. I did read somewhere recently that they have finally broken the secret code of the mix that Romans used to use to make concrete, because Roman concrete never fell down. I mean, never got concrete cancer or any of the stuff that plagues modern concrete. And I forget now, it was some outfit had broken it down and analysed it and worked it out, and then they'd gone away and patented it, and they were going to introduce it out there as a super mix for some of the big concrete structures. And I can't remember what it was, but there was something in the mix, that in the way that it's made, that had just been forgotten post-Romans, and they've reintroduced it. So that's interesting, at least to me. Right, I've got the wheel ready, so let me come out of the old studio mode and get you over to the wheel. Here we are. Yeah, no, good shout, Dorrigan. I can absolutely see the advantages. I just felt for what they were trying to do in an already poor and impoverished area, they'd probably be able to do that taking a little longer, using local labour and materials. But I see what she's trying to do. And I think, hat off, because it could be good. Right, we're going to start with the names, the winners. Let's do this. You're all a winner in my heart, but only one of you is going to win a game today. So let's spin this little puppy. I tell you what, before I do that, let me give it a little shufflet. A few shuffs. There we go. Let's do this. When I hear this bit of music, I always think of Dorrigan with his sword between his mouth and his chest showing, doing his kind of pirates thing. And that's not my dream. It's not my kind of personal thing. I've seen him doing it. Good luck all, says Adam. Well done, my friend. Oh, look at this. It could be Agnello or it could be Miss Phoenix. It's going to be Agnello, our great friend from Italy, who periodically, bless him, messages me and apologises that he's not been able to come along and watch live because of his job. But he's a lovely fellow, and I will happily message him with the good news. Right, let's get our next wheel up, the one for the prizes. There it is. Right, I'll give it a little shove. Bearing in mind we've got a load of Horizon Zero Dawns now in here. Let's see if he's going to be the one, the lucky one. Let's do this. Oh, I can smell garlic. Ooh. Whoa, it's getting very close to Horizon. It could be. I reckon it is. After all this time. No way. Yeah. Woo. Oh, well done, Agnello. Horizon Zero Dawn. Somebody had to after all this time. I did increase them, mind you. Woo! Nicely done, my friend. Excellent stuff. Woohoo! I can't wait to send him a little message. He's such a nice fellow. He'll be so happy. Bless him. Bless him and all that's sailing him. I'm genuinely smelling garlic. Now, there's a reason why I'm wincing. I don't mind garlic too much if it's a subtle element of a recipe, right? But when it's in its naked, stinky cooking form, hate it. Ugh. And I can smell it in that form right now. Yuck. So there we go. Woo! Happy Wednesday. That was all right. We kept it fairly happy, didn't we? Didn't we, guys? We kept it fairly happy. I thought we did a good job keeping it nice and happy and just chilled. Hey? I think so. And we had Crazy K joining us from Kick. How fantastic is that? Thank you so much, Crazy K. Right, you lovely folks. So tomorrow it's GeForce and Boosteroid and all those guys because it's Cloud Gaming Thursday. Missed out on last week, so I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. I'm trying to think what the game was on Epic last week. Oh, Payday 2. Which I've got it, and it's on GeForce now. And Payday 3 didn't look too bad, did it, on the Xbox reveal? But it's a co-op and a multiplayer thing, and I just don't do that, really. I don't. But I did watch Ray streaming Midnight Ghost Hunt earlier, and actually not today. Today was Marvel Snap. And he got Jeffrey. He got a Jeffrey. Jeffrey the Shark, you know. Yesterday it was, and it was great. It was great to actually see it, because I hadn't seen it in the flesh. It did look fun. So anyway, there we go. Payday's a great series. I'll play Payday with you. Oh, will you, mate? Oh, I'll tell you what, I do need to book you, actually, mate. Because you know when we did that quest in Destiny that you very kindly jumped in, I forget the name of your friend now, and you helped me complete it. I've got to go back in and defeat the boss again for the final part of it. Oh, I thought I'll wait till he gets back from his holidays. So at some point, maybe the weekend, if you're free. Oh, I can't go into Cornwall. At some point, there's no rush. I'd love to jump back in. Be good. I'd love to do that. Maybe we stream it. Even. That would be fun. Oh, thank you, dude. He's lovely, isn't he? He's lovely. Right, you wondrous folk. Is William streaming? Because I always get it wrong. Let me see. It doesn't stream Tuesdays, Thursdays. So he's probably streaming. Let me go and have a quick look and see what young William... Oh! It's High on Life. Brilliant. They've just announced a new version. Al, what was it called? You sent me the message. Knife. Was it Knife on? Was it High on Knife? High on Knife, I think. But it's a new version of the game from the same developers. Right, guys, get yourselves over to SPG, which, of course, if you can't remember, it's Simply Porn Gaming, I believe. And he's doing a bit of the old High on Life, which, if you haven't seen it, it's an hilarious game. Hilarious. You love it. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go and find out what that garlic smell is and hope it's not too garlicky. And I will see you wonderful people tomorrow. Take care. Bye.
Oh, baby, you can free my mind and nothing's gonna take control. I need something that I could never find, boy, you got it and it ain't for sure. Hey, oh, baby, won't you take my hand and never ever let me go? But it's time for us to take our stand, show the world that we're a miracle. That's all I wanted from you, a little more attitude. Oh, well, how can I refuse? 'Cause you're the one that I choose.